What's up, guys? I am James Hake. This is the Hake Report. It's 9:01 a.m. here in Los Angeles. Tuesday, not Thursday. I get those confused. Tuesday, October, not August. 5th, 2021 AD. AD, Anno Domini. And I have actually quite a show for you. So let me get right to this. I have, first, before I play this show for you, I have oh my gosh, another beautiful song to play for you from OK. Enjoy Compass from OK. I like to play some throwback music from when I used to be really into music. This is from 2005, toward the end of my being into music. And maybe you can understand why after you hear it. Marty Anderson is okay, or was okay, even though he had Crohn's disease. And here, this is from the 2005 album High Road, Part 2. Last week I played Low Road. I hope you guys enjoy this. I think it's a good vibe. It's a cool vibe. His voice, it takes maybe some getting used to. You think it's a grandma at first, or a cat, but he's a nice guy and he's kind of deep sometimes. Enjoy Compass from OK. Nice. Starts off soft. Play some Skinner, man. This is Kevin Howe. I don't even know if I know a Skinner song by sound or name. This is on Absolutely Kosher Records. Absolutely Kosher Records. Berkeley, California. Heck yeah, close-up finger time. Yeah, I point to the lyrics on the video of the album liner notes. This is the front cover of the CD art. Oh. Sweet Home Alabama. I forgot. Like a compass that don't know where you be. Yes, Berkeley is not morally straight. I don't know what he's singing about here. But I like his message a lot of the time. What kind of man listens to crap like this? Don't say crap, good boy. I'm excited about this show coming up, guys. This music would be cool if Mr. Raspy were not the singer. Sounds alright. Play some DMX for you. Absolutely Kosher Records, Berkeley, California, people. No, I never smoked pot to this. I didn't really smoke pot. This is the weakest David Bowie imitation. Hey, not bad. Kind of nice. Kind of nice. The melodrama. I appreciate you, okay, even if my listeners do not. Actually, some of my listeners do appreciate you guys. And appreciate the haters, too. Hey, look at the okay sign. White supremacist confirmed. 2005. The finger together with the three things, the 666 Illuminati. But anyway, guys, let's get right on with the show!
1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
Hey, guys!
Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la. Oh, it's the Hake Report, the Hake Report, la la la.
So, how are you guys doing? I am fine. I have a quick super chat from Forever Rochelle. Is that scared CDC director Rochelle Walensky? Yesterday, I got a super chat from Forever Rochelle that said, y'all truckers are mad irresponsible and immature for putting our economy on hold. You know, the supply chain, right? You know, the one y'all pretend to care about so much. With the strike, just take y'all shot. A bunch of grown men afraid to take a needle. What a shame. What a shame. That's what Forever Rochelle said yesterday. And you guys were calling poor Rochelle scared CDC Director Rochelle Walensky, maybe? Is she a fan of the Hake Report? Well, she goes on to say, here's another super chat from her. Forever Rochelle gave another super chat today and stated, I got y'all racists big mad. Who knew that Rochelle Walensky talks like this? About taking the shot. White men afraid to take their own medicine after what they did to us in Tulsa. I guess Rochelle's part black. I thought she was just, what is Rochelle Walensky, Jewish? Bet y'all thought we forgot about Tulsa massacre. Well, she didn't say massacre, but I know that her people think it's massacre. Karma got a funny way of working itself out. And I want my $2 back. I don't fund racists. Oh, Rochelle gave $2 in super chats to the Hake Report on Streamlabs, streamlabs.com/the Hake Report. Thank you very much, Rochelle Walensky, scared CDC director. Forever Rochelle. No refunds. or shall I? By the way, shout out to Rock Climber and Single Mom doing her best and Baby42 and the others, Lin Yen Chin and Based America First for the support over there on Streamlabs, as well as the people over there on Odysee, ODYSEE.com/@ the Hake Report /live. Hey guys, nice to see you. Dan East, I see you, man. Absolutely Kosher equals run by rabbis, says Asmodor. Absolutely Kosher Records being the record company, probably now defunct. At least their website seems to be not working completely. YouTube took most of it. Yeah, they put out the OK album, which I really enjoyed. I didn't know better, but I like it. And I think the guy is kind of deep for, I guess when you suffer some stuff, sometimes you discover some things. I will be getting to your calls, guys. But first, I have some things to share with you. Bear with me on this one. Bear with me. the Facebook mess going on right now. I got some emails from some of you guys about it. I mentioned it in Hake News at the end of hour 2, I think, about this Facebook whistleblower woman who's a media darling right now. She appeared lovingly on 60 Minutes, which is a CBS show. 60 Minutes used to be kind of good, and now it's just evil. Used to be the guy who used to wink at the end of the show, and you would guess which eye he would wink. And he was an old guy, seemingly classy. Don't know much about him, but I believe he's died now. But now and this guy, Scott Pelley, CBS News scumbag, a phony guy who's interviewed former JLP guests, former Fallen State guests, former men's conference appearer Mike Cernovich on 60 Minutes. Did you know that? He was on there. And Scott Pelley's trying to play the gotcha game with Mike Cernovich. Well, there was no gotcha games, I assume, with this Facebook whistleblower woman named Haugen, Haugan, something like that, Gen. And she's claiming she's pretending to care about little girls who are affected by the Instagram stuff, the degeneracy pushed on Instagram, making little girls insecure and addicting them and stuff like that. And there's a little bit of truth to this. The social media companies are meant to be addictive, keep you scrolling, keep you on the platform, send ads to you, make money. Shout out to the Facebook crew, by the way. I see you, Lisa, and the others. And shout out to Skip for corralling the Facebook crew in the first place. What's up, Robbie? And, of course, DLive and YouTube. I'm also streaming on Twitter. But they're like, oh, these poor victim people. Somebody pointed out it's the parents' fault. They shouldn't let the children be on the social media stuff. They should be guiding the people because the world is going to be corrupt. The job of the world is to corrupt you. It's even in the Bible. The world is evil. The intellectuals say the Bible lists off the corrupting influences, the world, the flesh, and the devil. They rattle off those things. The flesh, the world, and the devil. And Facebook is the world, and the government is the world. But the Facebook and the government and the mainstream media, the three of the most evil parts of the establishment that I can think of, all want to join in together and make things better for the little girls. Give me a break. Somebody told me to stop saying, give me a break. I forget who said that. Pathetic. And then she also said, according to the Epoch Times, that Facebook whistleblower claims profit was prioritized over clamping down on hate speech. There's no such thing as hate speech. It's free speech. And we as an American Facebook company, are we part of the Facebook company? We are the product, right? They say you're the product. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you're the product. We as the Facebook company should be imposing free speech on the world, not cowering to China and the EU, the European sleazy fake companies that believe that there's such a thing as hate speech, and other countries and companies and degenerate commies who have infiltrated Facebook who think that there is such a thing, and then they censor the truth. I don't like Kit Kats. Give me a break of that Kit Kat bar. Give me a break. Give me a break. Break me up a piece of that Kit Kat bar. But I don't like Kit Kat bars. It's only Butterfinger, Snickers, Payday, stuff like that. And they're pretending that the January 6th mostly peaceful protest at the Capitol was a problem. That was Facebook's doing. That was not, first of all, that was hardly a problem. And second of all, they're ignoring the Black Lives Matter degeneracy, and they're ignoring the Antifa madness. Sick. But Michael Tracy, the former JLP guest, he's been on the JLP show a couple of times when I was producer. He's a liberal guy, but he's an independent reporter. He used to be on the Young Turks of all places. Psh. But he debunked the Russia conspiracy theory nonsense about Trump-Russia shenanigans. He said, of course, the Facebook whistleblower, and he put that in quotes, receives national red carpet media tour because she finds a way to blame the platform, Facebook, for misinformation and hate. Quote-unquote misinformation, meaning information that differs from the establishment narrative. Much of the time, that so-called misinformation turns out to be true. Remember when Facebook clamped down on the Hunter Biden laptop story? Or they clamped down on normal true things. I remember saying, blacks kill twice as many whites as vice versa, nationwide, year after year. I said something factual like that, and it got clamped down as hate speech. They deleted my comment and suspended me. What's up to the Facebook crew? Many of you are in Facebook jail all the time, regularly. What a shame. So the things, Michael Tracy says, the political/cultural elites are always looking to find a scapegoat for misinformation and hate to explain trends that they don't like. Divide and conquer. The vaccinated versus the unvaccinated. The blacks versus the whites. The men versus the women. The gays versus the Christians. Blah, 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 blah. Shenanigans. And so right now it's a big fight between liars to see who can control the lying narrative. What a mess. Robbie says, I've caught a ban for saying the same thing. I assume he's referring to what I said. Conservative says on YouTube, well, I won't say it. I won't repeat it. In response, I guess, to my t-shirt, I'm wearing a t-shirt that says, Jesse Lee Peterson 2024, rebuilding the country by rebuilding the man. Isn't that nice? And shout out to the person who made these t-shirts. This exact version is not for sale. Boy, you can barely see. This exact design is not for sale, but, at least not that I know of, but there is a version that is for sale. It is a little bit more compressed, condensed. And you can check out rebuildingtheman.com/stores. It's on I believe it's on the Fallen State Teespring store. Check it out, rebuildingtheman.com/stores. Malkuth X says, Hake, if there is no hate speech, what is it when blacks speak openly about how much they hate whites? That's not hate speech. They're just telling you the truth. Because the idea is that hate speech should not be allowed. And it's not hate speech. You put a name in front of speech, and then you pretend that you should be clamping down on people's freedom of speech. It's not a threat. It's not a violent threat. A threat of violence to say for blacks to admit they hate whites. Oh, sure, Hake, the elitist gets a better shirt. So, man, I'm blowing through my time right now. I wanted to tell you guys about this. Do I have time for it now? I think I will take this time for this. This is clip 11 from yesterday. And I didn't make a clip 11 for today because I wanted to avoid the confusion. Arnold Schwarzenegger. This is like a 6-minute clip. I never saw this. Maybe you guys watched this. But this is a typical guy who acted like he was an outsider. Arnold Schwarzenegger is an actor, or was an actor. He used to be a bodybuilder at one time. He was an immigrant. I guess to this day he's an immigrant, right? I guess he's been naturalized as a U.S. citizen. and he took advantage. He took advantage of what we had to offer, and good for him. He worked hard and stuff like that. A good showman. And he became Terminator. And then he became the Governator. And I voted for him. I may have even voted for him twice. I'm not even sure. Did he get 2 terms as governor of California? And he was a huge disappointment. Some of you guys already knew he was going to be no good. How is speech free if it has consequences? Asks Malkuth X. Only communists make consequences for freedom of speech. You'll notice that JLP, as much as he disagrees with and endures the slander from the black radicals, he never tries to get them fired. He doesn't want them fired for just saying they're evil. Roland Martin, for example. He never wanted Roland Martin to be fired, but the radical gays didn't like Roland Martin saying something about effeminate males. And so they wanted him fired. Free speech has consequences. Okay, commie. So, yeah. Oh, we have the freedom to try to go boycott. Oh, you're not freedom from consequences. Don't fall for that, Malkuth X. I mean, I don't think that you're falling for that. Malkuth X is a long-time listener. He's not swayed. He never tried to get me fired, I don't think. Or me demonetized, I don't think. In fact, he may have even given some super chats sometimes. In fact, I know that he has, I believe. But that's what I mean by the consequences thing. Because they say that. That's a communist line. Freedom for speech. Free speech doesn't mean freedom from consequences. Hate speech is a derivative of hate crime, which means that you can be charged with what was on your mind at the time that you committed a crime, says Doom Jesus. Yeah, or they said it's basically like they came up with this fake thing called hate crimes. It's an attack on the First Amendment. You say N-word when you punch a black guy, or the black guy says honky when he punches, when Jeremiah fantasizes about, let's say Jeremiah actually did a threat against me. He just expressed his desire to do that to me. I hate to repeat this. I guess I shouldn't have repeated it. But say somebody evil, angry, hates white people, insecure in his identity, thinks that he's something that he's not, thinks that he has a good relationship with his father, but he can love some and hate others and stuff like that. Let's say that somebody actually makes a threat. I'm going to do this to you. I'm going to whip you to death with my chain link whip. Watch your back. It's going to happen. That's an actionable threat, right? Because he said he's going to do it. That's when it's wrong. But if he just says, you honky, and just punches me, he should be charged for the punch, not for saying honky. Honky is white. I learned from Chicks Publications. You honky devil. I learned that from Chicks Publications, those Christian tracts. I did not know that it was a slur against whites. I didn't even understand. I'd never heard it. And I had never heard cracker until like late high school, early college. I just never heard it. I heard more like white boy, gringo, güero, stuff like that. Here, because it's a bunch of Hispanics. Oh, and guaylo, white devil. Say guaylo, die white devil. That's what the Asians say, some of them. But anyway, I gotta play this. Here's Arnold Schwarzenegger. It's a throwback from January of 2021, January 10th, a few days after the insurrection. Listen to this phony guy, and hopefully I'd never seen this before. Maybe you guys had seen this, but it was put out on his lame Twitter. Schwarzenegger, the phony guy. And what's interesting is he's talking about himself and the establishment that he bows to. He's not talking about Trump and Trump supporters. Reminds me of what Jesse the Body Ventura did against Trump when Trump was going to become president or going to run for president. Listen to this.
As an immigrant to this country, I would like to say a few words to my fellow Americans and to our friends around the world about the events of recent days.
January 6th.
Now, I grew up in Austria. I'm very aware of Kristallnacht, or the Night of Broken Glass. It was a night of rampage against the Jews carried out in 1938 by the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys. Wednesday was the day of broken glass right here in the United States. The broken glass was in the windows of the United States Capitol. But the mob did not just shatter the windows of the Capitol, they shattered the ideals we took for granted. They did not just break down the doors of the building that housed American democracy, they trampled the very principles on which our country was founded. Now, I grew up in the ruins of a country that suffered the loss of its democracy. I was born in 1947, 2 years after the Second World War. It all started with lies and lies and lies and intolerance. So being from Europe, I've seen firsthand how things can spin out of control. I know there is a fear in this country and all over the world that something like this could happen right here. Now, I do not believe it is, but I do believe that we must be aware of the dire consequences of selfishness and cynicism.
Yes.
President Trump sought to overturn the results of an election, and of a fair election. He sought a coup by misleading people with lies. My father and our neighbors were misled also with lies, and I know where such lies lead. President Trump is a failed leader. He will go down in history as the worst president ever. The good thing is that he soon will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. But what are we to make of those elected officials who have enabled his lies and his treachery? I will remind them of what Teddy Roosevelt said. Patriotism means to stand by the country. It does not mean to stand by the president.
Deep.
Now, John F. Kennedy wrote a book called Profiles in Courage. A number of members of my own party, because of their own spinelessness, would never see their names in such a book, I guarantee you. They're complicit with those who carried the flag of self-righteous insurrection into the Capitol. But it did not work. Our democracy held firm. Within hours, the Senate and the House of Representatives were doing the people's business and certifying the election of President-elect Biden.
Oh, yeah.
What a great display of democracy. Now, I grew up Catholic. I went to church, to Catholic school. I learned the Bible and my catechism and all of this. And from those days, I remember a phrase that is relevant today. A servant's heart. It means serving something larger than yourself. See, what we need right now from our elected representatives is a public servant's heart. We need public servants that serve something larger than their own power or their own party.
Like Joe Biden.
We need public servants who will serve higher ideals. The ideals in which this country was founded, the ideals that other countries look up to. Now you see this sword?
Awesome.
This is the Conan sword. Now here's the thing about swords. The more you temper a sword, the stronger it becomes.
He has a sword,
The
guys.
more you pound it with a hammer and then heat it in the fire and then thrust it into the cold water and then pound it again and plunge it into the fire and into the water, the more often you do that, the stronger it becomes. I'm not telling you all this because I wanted to become an expert sword maker, but our democracy is like the steel of this sword.
Nice.
The more it is tempered, the stronger it becomes. Our democracy has been tempered by wars, injustices, and insurrections. I believe, as shaken as we are by the events of recent days, we will come out stronger because we now understand what can be lost. We need reforms, of course, so that this never ever happens again. We need to hold accountable the people that brought us to this unforgivable point.
What a psycho.
And we need to look past ourselves, our parties, and disagreements, and put our democracy first.
It's not a democracy.
And we need to heal together
Heal.
from the drama of what has just happened. We need to heal, not as Republicans or as Democrats, but as Americans. Now, to begin this process, no matter what your political affiliation is,
I know
I
it's
ask
long.
you to join me in saying to President-elect Biden, President-elect Biden, we wish you great success as our president. If you succeed, our nation succeeds. We support you with all our hearts as you seek to bring us together. And to those
Yeah,
who think they can overturn the United States Constitution, know this: you will never win. President-elect Biden, we stand with you today, tomorrow, and forever in
Forever.
defense of our democracy from those who would threaten it. May God bless all of you, and may God bless America.
You don't know God? What the heck? You like the dramatic music? Better than okay? I prefer okay to this. So I don't care what you say, Malkuth X. That's hate speech. Hating on okay. Proud Boys did the Proud Boys version of the Nazis did Kristallnacht. Night of the Broken Glass. I had to look this up. I had heard of it, but I just put a picture actually of a destroyed synagogue in Berlin, Germany. The interior, beautiful synagogue. I didn't know that synagogues looked like that. It has all these arches and things. It looks like they reappropriated like a one of those Orthodox churches. But the Kristallnacht, destroyed synagogue in Berlin, took place in Nazi Germany, then including Austria and Sudetenland. Sudetenland, Free City of Danzig. 9th and 10th of November 1938. The target was the Jews. The attack was a pogrom, whatever that is. Looting, arson, and mass arrests. 91 plus dead. So we had a Kristallnacht on January 6th. 91 plus dead. Dead! Dead! All Trump supporters. Well, really, it was just like 6. Well, 1 killed that day. But, yeah, that's what the Capitol looked like, too, afterwards. You see all that debris on the floor? That's exactly what the Capitol looked like. No, I think there were at least 2 broken windows, maybe more than that. Some stolen stuff. I heard that more people who stole a Nancy Pelosi laptop, a mother and son, got arrested the other day. What a mess. So, yeah, it was the Nazi equivalent of the Proud Boys. The Proud Boys, I will remind you, don't do anything but defend the halfway decent people from the evil people, including themselves. They defend themselves against the evil people. The Antifa, scum of the earth people who attack people unprovoked. Proud Boys, to my knowledge, have Proud Boys killed anyone? I don't think that there's no rogue Proud Boy. I know the Proud Boys at large disavow that nonsense. But in general, they're just try to be disciplined. And I know that there's conflict within the Proud Boys, like, shouldn't even be going out there looking for trouble or looking for the people who are looking for trouble. Just stay home. But there are people who are look at that Patriot Prayer guy, murdered in cold blood by an Antifa Black Lives Matter male feminist over in Portland, Oregon. This guy is an idiot, an evil liar. Arnold Schwarzenegger. I have voted for him. It started with lies and lies and more lies. He's the one lying. It was funny how he said, soon Donald Trump will be as irrelevant as an old tweet. That's him. Except that I'm playing him right now because, because he was governor for a while. And then he was the Terminator when I was a kid, 4th grade. Terminator 2 came out, 4th grade. I was in 4th grade. 9 years old, I think. As I recall. Some of my friends watched it. Can you believe that? I think it was rated R. And they watched it with their parents. Shameful. And he talked about profiles in courage, saying his fellow Republicans would not appear in that book by JFK. This guy has no courage. He's a coward. The servant's heart. A servant's heart. Donald Trump had the servant's heart. I have a clip of Donald Trump I may play for you. I think I will. I really liked, though, that Conan Sword segment where he picked up this sword. If those of you listening on the audio podcast, you may have heard a clink a couple of times. He picked up this sword. This is Conan's sword. And it gets tempered. The more it goes through the fire, the tougher it gets. And that's the reason I like that. Not because his message was that, oh, democracy's better now that we're going to get rid of the Trump supporters. We're going to burn away the Trump supporters. But we get better because they're doing evil to us. Trovo clamped down on me, and I went to Odysee. Get stronger. Nice. But, I mean, that's just a physical thing, but spiritually, it's supposed to get stronger with this attack on us, right? We are. Tougher. Like that, I don't know if you heard the Jesse Lee Peterson show today. He was talking with this guy, AJ, from somewhere. I think originally from SoCal or from California. And he was going through this tough time, all broken up over a girl. And it's going to be better for him. JLP made the point earlier today on the Jesse Lee Peterson show that you get stronger from those. The worst times are actually the best times for you. So I did like that message, even though it's not exactly how Schwarzenegger meant it. I loved the dramatic background music. I did, believe it or not, I cut out at least like a minute and a half of that. It's like a 7.5-minute video. We've survived insurrections. I don't know. Heal together from the trauma of what happened. Talk about the melodrama. He's comparing it to Kristallnacht, where only Trump supporters died. Only Trump supporters died, including that officer, Sicknick. Brian Sicknick. Rest in peace, Brian Sicknick. The mainstream media, and I repeated mainstream media lie, unknowingly, but I said according to them, that a Trump supporter threw a fire extinguisher at his head. No fire extinguisher hit his head. He just had some crazy, I think he got maced. And then later on he had a supposedly unrelated stroke or something. Young man, 46 years old or less, Brian Sicknick, Capitol Police officer, Trump supporter. There were a few cops I heard who got the fire extinguisher thrown at them by some guy. Maybe it was a Fed, I don't know. There are some people who go a little out of control. And then they lie about what's really going on. Biden really seeks to bring us all together, doesn't he? Give me a break. So phony. Let me go ahead and play this clip from our real president, Donald J. Trump. He was interviewed the other day by, let's see if I can find this. Trump is for Christianity. Right Wing Watch put this out on Twitter. A liberal professor friend of mine, I guess you could call him a friend of mine, shared this to me. A liberal Christian professor from APU, Azusa Pacific University, quote tweeted this to me and tagged me. Right Wing Watch on Twitter. Donald Trump called into the religious right Flashpoint program the other night, where he bragged and said this. Listen to this clip, and you'll hear the host talk to him, and then you'll hear Trump respond. And it gets kind of cut off at the end, but it's true, I think, what Trump says. Tell me what you think. Enjoy this from, I think this is, can you tell which one this is from Right Wing Watch.
There are between 90 and 100 million evangelicals in America. And as you know, our Flashpoint audience is highly motivated part of that group. What's your message to them? How should they stay engaged with you and the nation during this tumultuous time?
So nobody has done more for Christianity or for evangelicals or for religion itself.
Nice. Nobody has done more for Christianity or evangelicals. Did he say or anybody else? Nice. I agree with him, I think. Flashpoint. And that was on the Victory channel, apparently. I just dug it up. So I will link that to you guys so you can hear more of it's about a 7-minute interview. Trump was interviewed on Flashpoint. There was a border update and the $3.5 trillion spending bill that they're trying to put out. Actually, they have the full interview linked as well. 15-minute, put out September 30th. and they have the full episode on Rumble. So, but he's right about that. Our real president, Donald J. Trump. Somebody says Trump is a liar. Based Viking says it. Based _ Viking over there on, but he misspells liar. So maybe he means something else. The disgraced president. Hardly, man, hardly. I really appreciate, to this day, our real president, Donald J. Trump. He's actually like a profile in courage. Actually someone who is a unifier and brought the country together. The halfway decent people of the country really supported him or took note. And the evil people overreacted against him like psychos. And they really were. What a mess. Anyway, guys, it is 9:42 here in Los Angeles right now. I have to get to some calls. You can call in 888-775-3773. Let me get to, I got to get to Killian out of Boston, Massachusetts. Killian, how you doing?
Guten Morgen, mein Kameraden.
Hey, how are you? Guten Morgen.
Doing well. Doing well.
Guten Tag for you.
I had a question. I was wondering, how come you and Jesse are always putting down black people?
Somebody got to do it.
No, I guess the reason I called in was Project Veritas put out a new video yesterday with by Jack Posobiec. Have you seen that?
Jack Posobiec?
Yeah, he's the one that he runs Project Veritas.
No, man, you're confusing him with James O'Keefe.
Oh, never mind. I'm looking at the tweet where they.
Yeah, Jack Posobiec probably tweeted out about it. Yeah. I watched a 10-minute clip from Project Veritas on Twitter. That was Jake Coco shared it. And
it's hilarious how James you can get these hot women with undercover cameras.
Right.
They get these scientists drunk at the bar, and they spill all the beans.
Yeah.
And they basically said your antibodies are a lot better than the vaccine.
I disavow those statements by those scientists from Pfizer. I don't think that scientists from Pfizer are necessarily trustworthy, just because they're saying it unknowingly, unknowingly being recorded by a apparently pretty girl, doesn't make it true. But yeah, that's what this is. I'm disavowing for YouTube's sake. Pfizer scientists claim, and I don't know if this is true, your COVID antibodies are probably better than the Pfizer vaccination. We're bred and taught to be like vaccine is safer than actually getting COVID. Our organization is run on COVID money. Is some of the quotes that were stated.
And, Matt Gaetz retweeted it. He said, the only reason natural immunity isn't part of America's pandemic response is because Big Pharma can't make money off of it.
I wonder if there's more than that, or if it's because, I guess that might be all it is the money-grubbing pharmaceutical companies that are in bed with the government and in bed with the mainstream media. It might be all that is, but it isn't interesting about people with, human nature, how human nature, especially the female mindset of, you do this. I heard you're supposed to do this, and I believe them, not you. And so
remember these media companies, they get tons and tons of money from these pharmaceutical companies.
Right. Yeah, I know. You just listen to their advertisements about this drug or that drug, and then it lists off all the potential side effects.
Yeah,
and it's so funny.
They don't want to get sued or something.
Yeah,
but they're saying for the vaccine, it's not even really a vaccine; it's a mRNA therapy or gene cell therapy.
Well, they redefined vaccine, so it is a vaccine.
Oh, I gotcha.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Dictionary
and
the CDC made it so that it's just supposed to help you fight off a virus. So under that new definition, from what I understand, if I get my daily vegetables, that could be a vaccine.
I guess.
And I could.
But no, it's interesting how you remember they came out with the big news that the FDA approved one of the vaccines.
Oh, that's misinformation. Veggies are not a vaccine, guys. Never mind that. That was a lie.
You got to watch out for the misinformation.
Right. I completely disavow all misinformation. Nothing but the truth here. Oops, not the truth. The facts.
You have to obfuscate
Trust the facts. Get the
obfuscation.
vax. Trust the facts. Get the vax.
Well, anyway, I forget what it was. There was a senator that was on Tucker Carlson last night, and he said that the FDA actually did a bait and switch. The vaccine that they actually, or the quote-unquote vaccine that they actually approved, isn't even available in America. It's only available in Europe.
Huh.
But they said, they reported far and wide that the FDA had approved the vaccine, and that's what gave the green light for the military to mandate it.
Right.
And it was a big bait and switch. And I wish I could remember the name of that senator, but he was on Tucker Carlson last night. It was a really good segment.
Huh.
But yeah, basically it's kind of crazy. I mean, I remember saying 10 years ago when everyone was like pushing all these campaigns to find the cure for cancer and, you know, football players wearing pink socks and all that.
Right.
And I was thinking to myself, I'm like, if they come out with a cure for cancer, you know how many people are going to be out of a job?
Yeah. Good point. They live on sickness of the people. These aren't healthcare workers. They are sick care workers. These pharmaceuticals don't care about us.
Yeah, they don't want to fix the problem. They just want to give you treatment.
Interestingly, though, some of those guys that the Project Veritas undercover young lady interviewed or talked to, one of the guys was like, you know, it's really immoral. It's all about the money. I came into this to help people. Some of the people do want to help people, but the power hungry people and the money hungry people are evil. And actually, that guy who's well-meaning sounded like a not morally straight person. I think that when push comes to shove, I think when push comes to shove, all people are evil.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, money corrupts. I'm telling you. It's, I love the part where you're saying how they made everyone sign non-disclosure agreements.
Oh yeah.
Even if you're in your office talking to someone and you had the door closed, they're still all suspicious of who's listening in on them.
Yep. It was very interesting, that clip. I didn't want to necessarily play it on my show, but it was. Go on. What were you about to say?
Yeah, and there was another podcast I was listening to, and they were saying how all these red states who have, you know, they're trying to get back to normal versus all the blue states like New York and whatnot, who are trying to clamp everything down. They're saying it's basically like East Germany versus West Germany.
Yeah.
And it's like a Berlin Wall between red and blue states.
Yeah, it kind of is. It's a weird situation right now. It's interesting times, that's for sure.
But I was kind of interested that I guess they had a protest the other day in New York City, where they're saying it was a Free Australia demonstration.
Oh, really? I saw.
Yeah, it was. Well, I mean, it was a bunch of people who are against the vaccine, but it was called Free Australia.
Okay.
I thought it was kind of odd, but it kind of makes sense. They don't want to end up like, because I mean, Australia is basically a open air prison right now.
Yeah, I heard that in New York City, according to the Epic Times, thousands of unvaccinated New York City teachers, they're on unpaid leave. I have seen a lot of protests in New York City, or a couple of them anyway, and they seem pretty big. And it's like Black Lives Matter supporters with Trump supporters or somebody like that. No medical health mandates.
I think it's kind of hilarious that they're saying that that this whole vaccine mandate is actually racist because the largest percentage group that doesn't get the vaccine is black people.
Right.
So they're calling the vaccine mandate racist. So it's like,
Yeah.
The left, they just love to eat each other.
Yeah. About 97.
When they don't have firm principles to stand on, and you get all these different groups attacking each other.
Right.
It's kind of like with this budget situation that they're trying to pass for the infrastructure bill.
Uh-huh.
You get the Republicans, they don't want the $3.5 trillion bill, but they said they'll agree to the 1.5.
Yeah.
But if they go with the 1.5, then you got Sandy Cortez and the squad who said they'll vote no because they want the 3.5.
Yeah. It's so evil. That's that Build Back Better bill. Build back better, back the bill. Give us amnesty. Illegal aliens. Supporting the $3.5 trillion bill. It's not right. I'm talking about that illegal alien who harassed Kyrsten Sinema inside the bathroom. Or one of them.
Oh, she had the most annoying voice I've ever heard. We voted for you.
We knocked down doors for you.
Elected.
Funny.
Please, just pass it for us.
I know. You gotta do what you promised you would do. It's not right. My parents were deported under SB 1070. That's that 2010, 2012, I think it was 2010 or 2011, Arizona bill that show us your papers law. And that allowed the cops to see if people were in the state of Arizona illegally because they have a big illegal alien problem in that state. Yeah. And the city of Los Angeles, I think the county of Los Angeles, boycotted Arizona over that. Jesse Lee Peterson called out, you know, with that T-shirt that Jesse Lee Peterson is shouting at you, pointing at you and saying, "You are a beta male." That's on the Teespring store or Jesse Lee Peterson spread shirt. Rebuildingtheman.com/stores. That's from him yelling at Mark Ridley-Thomas, who changed his name to include his wife's maiden name because he's such a male feminist, a black guy. Mark Ridley, he was born Mark Thomas, nice strong name. Now he's Mark Ridley-Thomas, and he voted, black guy, to boycott the state of Arizona over the Show Us Your Papers law about 10 years ago. Evil people against enforcing the law and having national integrity. We don't have a country, as Trump says, without the immigration laws being enforced.
No, we want to give everything. We want to give everyone free benefits and invite the whole world in.
Well, man, I appreciate hearing from you, Killian.
You as well.
Take care, man.
Hey, happy birthday.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, bye.
Bye. Yeah, guys, it was my birthday, July 17th. Just right back, less than 3 months ago, July 17th. Thank you very much. Very nice. Let me just double check the super chats over here. Got some super chats over on Odysee, ODYSEE.com/@the-Hake-Report. Ledgeklinger gave a couple of them. Appreciate that, Ledgeklinger. Picturing Biden forging a sword, going back to that clip of Arnold Schwarzenegger, is a terrifying thought. And he has a laughing face emoji. When you forge a blade properly, Ledgeklinger gives another super chat, it does not need to be retempered. Interesting. I did not know that. I remember reading in the G.I. Joe comic book. My brother was a G.I. Joe comic books fan, and so I read some of the G.I. Joe comic books. Larry Hama was a pretty good writer, I think. At least for me, for my taste, when I was a kid or a young man. By young man, I mean like 12, 13, 14. I thought that those ninja swords that they made, way up in the wilderness, like where Batman went to train, like they would fold it over and over and over again, fold it together and put it in the fire. Maybe that's what you mean by forged properly? I don't know. Of course, are the ninja swords really the best, or is Conan's sword the best? Or whose? Who made the best swords? The strongest? I don't know. The ones that kept their sharpness the best. Anyway, thank you, Ledge Klinger. Appreciate the support and the rest of you guys. I appreciate it. Let me just type in how to give super. Nice. Let me quickly get to Blackstep Dad out of Los Angeles, California. Blackstep Dad in LA. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Hake?
Hey, good to hear from you. Thank you for calling again.
Hey, what's up, man? I'll make this quick. I see that you're almost close to the top of the hour.
And you can't wait for the next OK song? Is that the thing?
Nah, I'm just saying because I know you go on break and I don't want to like take too much time, bro.
No worries, man. Appreciate it.
Hey, I just want to ask.
Huh? Hey, what did you do? Let me put him on hold. We got to check on Black Stepdad. Poor Black Stepdad. Is he really Black Step? Is Black Stepdad really black? While we're getting the thing fixed for him, let me play for you. Speaking of this vaccine madness, clip 14. Before I get back to Black Stepdad, clip 14. This was from Christian Walker. Appreciated, Black Stepdad. Thank you for fixing your phone, but I'll get right back to you shortly. Christian Walker on Twitter. I saw this. It was retweeted by center-left journalist Mike Cernovich, who's appeared on the JLP show. He says, all of my classes are online. I don't step on campus. I've already paid. We're a week into classes. My university just called to tell me they are dropping my classes if I don't report to them about my vaccination. How is this about health when I'm at school at home? And this Christian Walker guy is like a light-skinned black guy, apparently. Listen to this clip 14 of this vaccine madness. He's on the phone with a guy who's with the university telling him that he's going to be dropped after he paid, allegedly, according to him, $70,000. And he's a week into classes. Listen to this closely.
Dropping students after they've already paid for classes if they don't upload their vaccination status.
The Student Health and Wellness Center conducts the COVID vaccination, and we keep track of your records.
And you're calling to tell me you will drop my classes after we've already paid $70,000 for the year if I don't upload something about my vaccine status when all my classes are online. That's what the call's about? Got it. Thank you.
Isn't that crazy? And yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, he does not seem quite morally straight, but don't be distracted by that. That's beside the point here. Why does his race matter, Hake? I'm just describing the situation for the audio podcast listeners. Light skin like me? Asks Gary Duarte. Probably, man. Probably. Double minority, too. Oh, yeah, because he's POC and LGBT. No, I don't know if he is. There's a lot of people who just talk effeminate. Yeah, he's in school. He looks so manly, says Tony Harper. But that's beside the point. Isn't that kind of psycho that all his classes are online and they're going to drop him? Makes no sense, right? Hake loves the gays. Yeah, you should love all people. Lisa over there on Facebook asks, can his shirt get tighter? What in the world? Yeah, and his hand gestures. He does the not morally straight hand gestures. But right on for exposing those evil people, Christian Walker, man. Male. Anyway, let me get to this call for real this time. Black Stepdad is on the line. What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Hey, can you hear me now?
Much better. Appreciate it.
All right, tight. Hey, Hake, why are you always putting down the black people, man?
Somebody got to do it.
That's right. Well, who better than the white man, right?
They don't seem very put down when they call in and talk to me. They seem all puffed up.
Yeah. I can, you can tell it from them.
Yeah.
Hey, Hake, I got a question for you, bro.
Yes.
You and Killian, right? What's his name? The guy before me?
Yeah.
You guys were talking about that SB something bill with the Latina chick in it?
Oh, well, yeah. I mentioned SB 1070, which was from like 10 years ago over in Arizona, but she wanted this Build Back Better bill, which is a national bill. She wants Kyrsten Sinema to sign it. It's $3.5 trillion bill, and it includes apparently like amnesty for or a pathway to citizenship for the so-called immigrants like her. I think she's a DACA recipient.
Yeah, and that's what leads to my question, bro.
Yeah.
You see, with the Mexicans, not all of us are like that, man. Like, I'm the complete opposite. And my parents came here in the 70s. They worked. My dad worked 3 jobs. He had 5 boys. He had a family, and he had it going on.
Uh-huh. Legally or illegally, do you know?
My mom became a citizen. My dad never did. He just said, "I'm just gonna work." He built up his character, but he was never for like. He had a shame about it, is what I want to say.
You can work legally and not be a citizen nowadays. They have work visas. Oh, did he not have?
That's what part of my dad had. Yeah.
Oh, he had the work visa.
Yeah, so he worked and never once
without incriminating him, did he overstay his work visa?
Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I know illegals who did that. They overstayed their work visas.
Yeah, but my parents had to simulate it. You know?
What do you mean? Simulate it. What do you mean by that?
They left behind the whole Mexican thing. You know, they came here and like they just didn't. They don't like it. We don't come from. I mean, my parents are from a city.
Yeah.
But they're not like about that. And when I see other Mexicans like the one you guys are making fun of,
right?
Those are the ones that give us a bad rep.
Yeah.
Like, are you serious?
Yeah, that's true. You know, I've known some families who came illegally. And the parents came illegally. The children, some of them were probably brought illegally. Some of them were born here as anchor babies.
Yeah.
Which is the case for you out of curiosity? Just out of curiosity. You don't have to answer.
I'll be honest with you. My oldest brother out of the 5 of us, he was born in 76. So I'm the youngest of 5 boys.
Uh-huh.
And my birthday's in 87.
Okay.
So I'm 34. So, like, I'm a millennial. I grew up in the old school times of before it got really bad.
Right. Although it was bad even then. If you look at the early 90s or mid-90s footage of the illegals, of the radical illegals, the communists, they were, like, attacking. You saw that clip of, I think it was, well, I don't know if it was Bible Go-To guy, who got hit in the head with a Coke can, and he's all bloody and the Univision reporter asks, "Are you a racist?"
Are you a racist?
Yeah. He's like, "No, I'm not a racist." You know, why you ask me that?
So that's why it's just so sad seeing the Latinos come from that. And when I hear blacks like Jeremiah and T and the rest of the bunch, it's like you guys are so brainwashed. Like you guys don't see that the white man saw you as an equal and decided to fix it.
Uh-huh.
So when other like minorities come here, you are an example of what can happen in this country.
Right.
Know? So when I hear that, I'm like, damn, that's messed up. You know, like you guys are so into the black thing and so into the Mexican thing, you can't see the grand picture of what this country's about.
Yeah. You know, that family that I told you about, or one of the families that I told you about, the parents, they're like decent people, even though they came illegally. They're like halfway decent people. It's a nice family. The father loves and trusts the police, but the children don't. They're like, oh no, the police are corrupt. Well, some of them became police, and then but the whole family supported Obama, for example. So even though they're hard workers, they're decent, they nice people. They still end up supporting the destruction of America. They're just better behaved, useful idiots. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you.
Yeah.
And it's the whole Mexican thing. I grew up first generation, so I know all about. I know the food. I can speak it. I understand it.
Yeah.
But like, what was I gonna say? Like, it's just a trip, bro. Like, how do I like? My question to you is, how can I separate that as me as a first Latino?
Separate what?
Like, I grew up here. I'm all about America. You know, I don't consider Mexican as my people because if I go over there, they're not going to see me as Mexican, you know?
Right. Yeah.
I stand out. They're going to be like, no, it is gringo. Don't call me a gringo.
I know.
So that's why I'm like, how
do you do what? What do you want to do?
What would be a way to separate that? You know, like, I'm cool with being Mexican, but I'm also American, you know? There's a guy, I don't know, bro. I got in a trip.
So you're not sure what you're asking?
Yeah, because, like, I don't know, James.
Well,
I got too much.
I think what are you about to say?
I have too much to talk to you about, but I know you're on the top of the hour.
Yeah. No, don't let that get to you. I say just seek what's right. Seek, like JLP says, seek first the kingdom of God. It's in the Bible too.
Yeah.
And then don't worry about how your mindset should be or what your identity should be or whatever, because eventually you're going to get past that stuff. Don't try to force it. Don't try to pretend like you are past it when you're really not. You know what I mean? Because some people turn into posers like, oh, I'm an American.
Oh, yeah.
And then when people, there's this thing that triggers immigrants and even the decent-minded immigrants, and it's partly why whites don't like immigrants. When some white guy tells some Hispanic guy or others to go back to your country, that's a triggering thing to say, right? But you have to have some understanding for the person who's frustrated at how the country is getting. I think you would understand that. But there's nice
totally
people. There are nice people like Sion has called into my show. You may not know Sion, but she's called into the JLP show. She's called into my show. She did not like this go back to your country talk. And there's another guy from Los Angeles who was a veteran. And I just went in on him because he's all, I'm a veteran and I don't appreciate, and I'm Mexican, he said, but I'm also American and I served the country. And I don't appreciate all these people saying, go back to your country. We worked hard and we were contributed to America and I served the country. Don't necessarily have that mindset. Be for what's right and understand the whites' position or even the white nationalists' position.
Yeah. And it's sad to see that the white race is going like, they're getting soft, bro. Like,
yeah. Appreciate that freedom of speech. There's an old school American a-hole, if you will. Yeah. Sorry, kids. That we kind of need back. We need. Yeah. There's this guy called Eddie Gallagher, and he was like this aggressive Navy SEAL or something like that. I don't know much about him, but based on what I heard, he was this aggressive guy. He was nicknamed Blade, and he's accused, although somebody else said that he did it, not that it wasn't him, but it was somebody else, of stabbing to death a 17-year-old injured ISIS fighter that they captured. And he was court-martialed. Trump pardoned him of the crime of taking a picture, posing with a picture with a dead body. It was this big controversy. But Eddie Gallagher sounds like one of those over-aggressive, hyper-testosterone jerks that you don't want to be around, but you want fighting for America.
Yeah, I feel you. Old school.
Yeah. And we need some of that back because you're right. Oh. The whites have gotten soft, scared, way too intimidated, overly fair. And so, we need toughness.
Not cool. Huh? Yeah. I like seeing that coming out of you, bro. You know?
Well, I appreciate it, Blackstep Dad. It's good to hear from you. Don't let it bother you, and just show love to everybody.
Yeah, and stop dissing on the black people, man. Come on, come up to black.
You got it. Take care.
All right, man.
All right. Yeah. I will get back to calls, guys, speaking of blacks. But I have a song for you. This track is entitled Hungry from OK from the 2005 album High Road Part 2. Hope you enjoy it. It is 10:10. And hang tight for the rest of Hour 2. Be right back.
You're holding on.
shouldn't feel so weak. You open up your mind, but you're still a slave. You live your life buried in your grave. It ain't the truth that I got. 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 But how is it supposed to stay when you push it away?
So good.
And how
Pretty musical guy.
is it supposed to stay
Pleasant.
when you keep
Speaking of soft white guys.
pushing it away?
Marty Anderson, ladies and gentlemen.
And how is it supposed to stay
Okay.
when you keep pushing it away?
Crohn's disease.
Let it go, you're hungry little lion. Let it go, you're hungry little lion. Let it go,
It's not Jesse's voice.
hungry little lion. You're hungry little lion.
What's up, Skip? Marty Anderson. Well, thank you guys. I hope you enjoyed that. Never known a Marty who wasn't beta as America First. beta, whatever. Like, you mean like Marty McFly? Great lyrics and tunes. The voice is just... But that's his thing. He had Crohn's disease, or has, I don't know. Hake, this is dope. I really enjoy it. Thank you guys bearing with me through the beautiful music. Quick super chat, guys. Super chat's over here. On streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Single mom doing her best says, this new season of The Hake Report is interesting, with new foes like Chuck, Jeremiah, John, and such. I do, however, miss the Earls and Mays. But it's okay. Well, thank you, single mom doing her best. I appreciate you. Very nice. Very cool. New Zealand, according to the Epic Times, quick point here. Quick point from the this vaccine madness. New Zealand admits it can no longer get rid of COVID-19. Interesting, huh? Wellington, New Zealand, reporting from Wellington, New Zealand. New Zealand's government acknowledged Monday what most other countries did long ago. It can no longer completely get rid of the coronavirus. Female prime minister who's living with her partner and had a child out of wedlock with her live-in partner, male partner, announced a cautious plan to ease lockdown restrictions in Auckland, despite an outbreak there that continues to simmer. What a mess. What a terrible mess. And you know, this weirdo. Oh, meanwhile, over here in America, things are, I think, going to get worse. Politico reports that Francis Collins, I've bashed this guy before a couple of times. Francis Collins is going to step down as the NIH director, National Institute of Health director, at the end of the year? By the end of the year. Look at this guy. Can you look at this guy and think, this man is younger, I repeat, younger than Jesse Lee Peterson. This white-haired, old looking, with his jowls, even though he's a skinny guy. Francis Collins. He's only 71 years old. I guess he kind of looks his age. Maybe JLP really is going to live forever. This guy is so weird. I have some throwback clips to share with you about this guy, just to remind you who he is, or was, or thing. This is, let's see. Did I put them into the folder? This was from back in August. 804-11. August of this year. August 4th of this year. Well, it was before August 4th. He was on some CNN talking about masks for children. Listen to this clip. It's about a minute long, just to remind you who this guy was. He became like a talking head on the mainstream media outlets pushing the Biden agenda stuff. But he's been in the government for decades, basically. Listen to him talking about children. The children need to wear masks. Little kids, I think. Listen to this.
It's clear that this variant is capable of causing serious illness in children. You have heard those stories coming out of Louisiana pediatric ICUs where there are kids as young as a few months old who are sick from this. That is rare. Certainly younger people are less likely to fall ill. But anybody who tries to tell you, you don't have to worry about it if you're a young, healthy person, there's many counterexamples all around us now. Well, so, yeah, you do need to think about it. And that's the reason why the recommendations are for kids under 12 that they avoid being in places where they might get infected, which means recommendations of mask wearing in schools, and that at home, parents of unvaccinated kids should be thoughtful about this. And the recommendation is to wear masks there as well.
Let me just follow up on that.
I know that's uncomfortable. I know it seems weird, but it is the best way to protect your kids.
He had to walk that one back. He said that parents should wear masks at home in front of their own children. What a psycho. This guy, I'll tell you about him. But let me just show you a little bit more about him. This is from August a year ago, 2020. This cringy video, it's about a minute and a half long, which is a minute and a half too long. But enjoy. You guys may recall this. I played it for you a little over a month ago. Francis Collins and his wife, and you'll see his wife if you're watching the video, acting like clowns. This is this is about 3, 4, 5, 6 months into the scam-endemic. And he's trying to encourage the kids. Listen to this. He's a guitarist. Hippie.
Poof, coronavirus came from overseas.
Oh man, this is too much.
Infecting folks across the land, Seattle, NYC.
No.
A little bats virus. Love those human cells.
We don't know
Next
if it's
thing
bats.
You know, the cases grow and the world has gone to. It's a family show. Heck. Poof, coronavirus came from overseas. Infecting folks across the land, Seattle, NYC. Poof, coronavirus called COVID-19. Quickly spread like a wildfire, now we're in quarantine. Now no one can travel or even leave their homes.
It's ridiculous.
Schools are closed, all kids must know, avoid the danger zones. We all must do our part to protect the ones we love. So if you meet at least 6 feet and handle doors with gloves, oh, poof, coronavirus came from overseas, infecting folks across the land, Seattle, NYC. Poof, coronavirus called COVID-19. Quickly spread like wildfire, now we're in quarantine.
All right, I think that's enough, hopefully. I'm holding my head. So Francis Collins is going to step down, and I can't really say thank God. As the NIH director, the 71-year-old physician geneticist led the agency under 3 consecutive presidents, meaning Obama and Trump, who kept him on, and then sleazy Joe Biden. Now he's stepping down. Reports 3 females at Politico, which is a far-left Enemies of America outlet. Very brave of him, says Bible Go-To Guy, to say that it came from overseas instead of communist China. I know, good point. I think that's sarcasm. Bible Go-To Guy also says that Mexican caller conversation right before the break was excellent. And Big Bump, shout out to Big Bump, says that guy Christian Walker is the son of Herschel Walker. Who's Herschel Walker? That sounds like a ball player. Herschel Walker, who was like a sensible man, former ball player, right? American politician and retired football player, bobsledder, sprinter, and mixed martial artist. Whoa, I didn't know all that. 59 years old, out of Wrightsville, Georgia. Played college football under the University of Georgia. Earned consensus All-American honors 3 times and won the 1982 Heisman Trophy. He's a Republican, Herschel Walker, and his son is Christian Walker, who didn't sound exactly morally straight, but he did have at least the good sense to know that this, it doesn't take much good sense to know that being forced vaccination for online students doesn't seem even logical. He beat some rear in MMA, says Elijah. I did not know that. Played football in the 80s. Well, thank you, guys. You mean tennis? No, this guy's somewhat manly. He may have even appeared on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, maybe even when I was producer. I don't know. Could be completely wrong. I can't keep all those black athletes who turned somewhat conservative straight. I mean, I can't, not straight as in morally straight. I mean, like, can't keep up with who's who. They all look the same to me. Oh, yeah, we had Denzel Washington on the phone. You mean Herschel Walker? No, I mean, whoever. OJ. Herschel was a beast at Georgia, says 9 or 3000. Don't say that, P Logos. P Logos is, usually, it's from the woman. It's not from the man. What chat is Hake reading? I'm reading multiple different chats. YouTube, I see Facebook. He's running for U.S. Senator. I see Jib Jab over there on Twitch. I see D Live. Hake reading the teleprompter. Yeah. So, well, right on Herschel Walker and right on Christian Walker. Get it going. Get it straight. He made his MMA debut at age 47. Wow. Okay. Where was I? I was telling you about this goofy guy, Francis Collins. National Institutes of Health Director Francis Collins, 71-year-old physician geneticist, led the agency. Longest serving, one of the longest serving NIH director, National Institutes of Health. While Anthony, this is Political reporting. He was an NFL running back too, right? I guess. Maybe. While Anthony Fauci, the nation's top infectious disease expert, and sleazy Joe Biden's chief medical advisor, became the most visible advocate for the administration's vaccination efforts, the Biden administration increasingly put Collins on network shows to urge vaccinations and to defend the booster strategy and to tell parents to mask up at home in front of their children who are under 12 who can't get the so-called vaccine. Give me a break. It's interesting that the cases are rare, but some cases children have had problems. But, there are rare cases of adverse events after the Fauci ouchie, which is a reference to the euphemism for the shot, right? What a mess. Collins has spoken at length about his conversion. Did you know this? This is Francis Collins, that goofy liberal hippie guy who's being replaced. Speaking of soft white people. He converted from atheism to Christianity, but he stayed a liberal. So how much of a Christian really was he? He penned a book in 2006 called The Language of God. A scientist prevents evidence for belief. A year later, he founded the BioLogos Foundation. BioLogos Foundation. All one word, BioLogos. But capital L. A group that aims to reconcile religion and science and argues that God created the world through evolution. So he was an evolution believer, but he's also a God believer. So he claims. In 2009, he left that BioLogos organization after sleazy President Barack Obama, the worst, nominated him to lead the NIH and was sworn in after being unanimously confirmed by the Senate. During his tenure, Collins had the ire, drew the ire of pro-life groups. They call them anti-abortion groups. Pro-life groups did not like this guy because he supported using dead babies' tissue, aborted baby body parts, in medical research. Fetal tissue, they called it. But he emerged politically unscathed. He was an immensely popular figure in Capitol Hill because they liked this grandpa acting hippie, nicey nice Collins soft liberal guy. Weak. He made efforts to reach out to the religious community throughout his career. For somebody who's a believer, he says about this scam-edemic and the vaccine, he's all, for somebody who's a believer, listen to this quote. This is Francis Collins, NIH director, stepping down, going to be replaced by probably a black female. I made that part up, but he's going to be replaced by somebody worse. Mark my words, that's my prediction. For somebody who's a believer, this is what you could call an answer to prayer, he told the extreme left, far left, enemies of Christianity, but who pretend to be Christians, Religion News Service, RNS, Religion News Service. I remember going to Religion News Service, liberals, and they pretend that they're Christians, but they're liberals. They're not Christians. They're fake. So this guy is talking to liberal so-called Christians. It tells you what kind of a Christian he is. And he said that to Religion News Service, this answer to prayer last month, in reference to the coronavirus vaccine. Oh yeah, this vaccine is an answer to prayer. If we've all been praying to God to somehow deliver us from this terrible pandemic, overhyped pandemic, and what happens is these vaccines get developed that are safe and effective. Remember that buzzword I told you about? Safe and effective? Not that you guys needed me to tell you about it. You hear it all the time. Safe and effective, safe and effective. Doo, doo, doo. I'm a clown. Well, why wouldn't you want to say, thank you, God, and roll up your sleeve? What a psycho hippie weirdo. And Trump supposedly asked this guy to stay on as NIH director because everybody liked him. And Sleazy Joe did too. What a mess. So that's Francis Collins. Speaking of goofy people and weirdos, Nervous Nancy, is this real? And then I will get to calls. Hang tight, guys. Nervous Nancy Pelosi. Clip 12. This guy, J.R. Majewski, tweeted. J. Majewski. Let me see. J.R. Majewski for Congress. He's a patriot, a veteran, 2022 congressional candidate. Ohio, District 9, campaign support. Win red. So I don't know. This guy, I don't know who he is. But he tweeted this out. And he said, members of Congress should be subject to drug and alcohol testing, not only for their safety, but for the safety of this nation. And he shares this short Nancy Pelosi clip, which seems like it's present day. Because she's talking about this Build Back Better thing. But then she references the Obama administration. It's a short clip, and it has a C-SPAN thing on the lower right corner. C-SPAN is that they put out stuff. Here's Nancy Pelosi acting strange, to say the least. Listen to this.
Keep government open. We have to do those imminently, more imminently even, to address the full Obama agenda of building back better. and I love to say, Building Back Better.
And I love to say Building Back Better because it sounds so nice. Nervous Nancy Pelosi without the adrenochrome. What a psycho. She's been in the government too long. I remember under the Obama administration, she lost it and then she took it back. The Speaker of the House thing. And I remember hearing from some wise man, she kissed that smoker guy who's for pot. He's a total rhino. He cried all the time. John Boehner. His name looks like something else, but it's pronounced Boehner. John Boehner. Sleazy rhino who was Speaker of the House for a brief time. And this woman kissed him, and then she had him wrapped around her little finger. She acts like everybody's grandma, but she's evil. Silver tongue, says Red. A sick woman. I remember when I was producer of the Jesse Lee Peterson show earlier in my days as producer for JLP, 2014, maybe late 2013. I remember she kept on calling the Republicans, it's the trifecta. They're racist, they're sexist, and they're anti-science, or something along those lines. And she kept on repeating that like it was so original and real and true. She's such a phony woman. Build Back Better, but it's spelled with sixes. 6 ild, 6 ack, 6 eder. 6, 6, 6. Build Back Better. Because the 6 looks like a B. Yeah. You guys know. You guys know. Evil woman. And Build Back Better is what these psycho people are doing with the psycho, did you see that lady on the airplane? And I played and I use the terms loosely. These illegal alien females, or pro-illegal alien females, they want the Build Back Better $3.5 trillion amnesty plan. I might play that for you later. I got to get to some calls. But phony evil people. Psycho. Is there anything else to say about Nancy Pelosi? Is she, speaking of soft white people, I mean, I consider her to be, I think she's Italian. She's probably Catholic. And not even a real Catholic, because real Catholics are at least pro-life. I don't even think she's pro-life. She's a psycho woman, evil. Big Bump says, Les Collins, as in that guy who sang Puff the Magic Dragon, the poof coronavirus, whatever. More okay. Thank you, Big Bump. I appreciate that. Yeah, okay is better than that hippie guy who's being replaced by someone even worse. Terrible shame. Let me get to Chuck in Detroit. Chuck, how are you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome, man. What's going on?
Chilling.
Am I coming across good? I got my earplugs in. Can you hear me good?
I can hear you okay. Avoid making noises.
All right. Hey, well, man, I wanted to respond. You and, what's that Mexican guy name you just was talking to?
Blackstep Dad?
Yeah, that had to be the dumbest, most boring conversation I ever heard in my life.
I'm not surprised to hear you say that.
It was like, you know how when you're in class and the two dummies in class trying to, be philosophers? That's what it was like. I compared to that.
Oh, okay, right on. Nice.
Right on. Okay. Yeah, nice. Okay. But how long you been racist, man? That was the question originally.
How long have I been racist? What is racist?
Yes. How long you been in dislike of black people? How about that? We put it that way to you.
Huh.
Yeah.
I don't know if I dislike black people. I like you at a distance. At a distance. I like you.
Okay. Right. Explain that a little more. Like when you mean a distance, what that mean? I'm lost.
Stay away. Don't be coming around me.
I mean, come on.
Don't try to live around me. Don't try to.
Okay, why is that? I get it.
Don't try to invade.
Now, just explain. Now, don't invade you like your people did the country, but explain what you mean when you.
We rightfully
what's
took
invasion?
this country. This is our country, and you should be grateful
I
for it.
got you.
You should be grateful.
Okay, but tell me, when do you feel invaded by my people?
Anytime you guys step outside and pretend that Black Lives Matter, when you don't even value when you don't even value your own lives, hypocrites.
Let me say this. Because I'm going to say this because I've been to forget. My brother Jeremiah, he be making you look so stupid. I've been wanting.
Are you an Israelite?
I believe what my brother be spitting to you. I believe everything he says. Yeah.
Are you an Israelite?
So, but I'm not. Are you one? Hey, I just said I believe my brother be spitting gang. He spit knowledge to you, and he make you look bad.
All right.
Okay, yeah, all right. You want me to say, yeah, I say I am one, since it's the people that's Israelites, and he talking about the black people.
Then how come you sleep with
ahead.
Then how come you like to sleep with the Edomite women?
Well,
You're
I'm
very
just saying
immoral.
that to you.
You reject God.
The but wait
you
a
reject
minute.
God.
Well, I don't mean to, but this is what I mean to do. See, the Edomite woman is not the enemy.
I'm going to hang up on you if you keep on talking like that.
Why?
Because it's vulgar. You're a sick person.
What's vulgar about it? What's vulgar? Explain it.
I don't have to explain it. You know that it's vulgar.
You can't. I'm
going to hang up on you if you. I'm going to hang up on you. All right. Goodbye. Nice talking with you. But to answer your question about the how long you been so-called racist, meaning loving the truth. Chris says his whole life, born this way. That's cool. I've always known that the racism thing was overplayed ever since I heard about Al Sharpton and Jesse Jackson. So I know that. I've always known that. And it's never really rung true about the imaginary racism thing. It never really rang true to me. Especially like whites are the least offenders in terms of the racism thing. I knew that blacks were into hating whites. I knew that Hispanics were all into their Hispanicanity. And they were into hating whites and hating Asians. And I knew the Asians were all into their Asianity, their Asianness, the different countries that they are. They don't even like each other. The Nicaraguans and the Mexicans don't like I almost said it. The bad word for Salvadorians, I almost used a different S word. But I don't like to cuss in Spanish on air. And so they don't like each other. You guys are all full of hate. Give me a break. Whites are just bashed with this because whites try to be nice, scared. They don't like confrontation. Pathetic. What a mess. Hate is natural, says Flat Sabbath. I don't know. And then all the more with the Trayvon Martin thing. Nothing radicalizes the whites like the mainstream media going on with an outright lie of Trayvon Martin was murdered. Give me a break. Or he was a gentle giant, this Mike Brown guy, gentle giant. He had his hands up, don't shoot. And that was a lie. And then they burned down the city. Burning and burning and burning. So that kind of shows whites that, oh no, actually these blacks are perpetrators, not victims. This love stuff is what's difficult, says Das Chungus. I don't know if I should repeat that name. It doesn't sound quite right. Anyway, appreciate it, man. Thank you for the call. I had to hang up because you were on that vulgar thing. You have to have it explained to you. Like a woman. Explain. What else did I want to show you guys? I think that may be it in terms of the video footage. Oh, no, that's not it. There is one more thing. Psycho. Before I get back to calls, hang tight, guys. You can call in. It's one line open. 888-775-3773. I have to share this with you. I got to share this with you. Yeah. You know that cinema madness that's been going on? I played for you the psycho illegal alien radicals who went into the bathroom at ASU, Arizona State University. Well, there was another video that I saw just yesterday, and you may have seen it on the Jesse Lee Peterson show, first hour. He played it. But I have to play it, too, because this woman got nerve, or has nerve. And I use the term woman loosely. She's evil. This is on an airplane, and listen closely, podcast listeners, and listen closely, video watchers, because there are no subtitles, and it may be a little bit difficult to understand because you hear the loud noise of the airplane, you know, getting ready, the jet engines are on or whatever. Maybe they're already taken off, but I don't think so. This I found from Jewish Deplorable on Twitter. Trump Jew. You guys familiar with him? Sinema stalked and harassed Kyrsten Sinema, the Democrat, bisexual, psycho woman. But she's not as extreme off the deep end evil as the others, believe it or not, by protesters on her flight. And here you'll see her seated in the airplane. Is she in coach? Or is she in first class? Is it coach? Is she flight coach? And here's an illegal woman being vulnerable to her and begging for her to pass the Build Back Better bill, amnesty. Listen to this. The nerve. Little Oaxacan girl. I used to hang out with a girl like this.
Senator, hello. How are you? Good?
Psycho.
Sorry, I'm Karina. I don't know if you remember me.
Karina.
I just want to know if you can commit, as my senator, if you can commit
My senator.
to passing a reconciliation that could provide a pathway to citizenship for immigrants. We have been waiting for this for too long. And I just need to know if you can commit to passing a budget reconciliation that would include immigration and citizenship for people to be protected, like me and many others. Can you commit to that, Senator?
She got long nails too, this Karina. Or whatever her
Just
name
me a simple question.
is. She's just staying quiet.
Vulnerable right now to you. My dad passed away. I know, but my dad passed away. My dad passed away last year, and we didn't get to reunite with my family. I don't want to disturb you, but at the same time, I just want to see if I can get a commitment from you, Senator. This is my life and the life of millions in the line. I just need to hear from you. Can we get a commitment from you?
Can we get a commitment from you?
To get a pathway to citizenship.
Pathway to citizenship.
Through the reconciliation to protect me and millions like me. Can I get a commitment from you?
Millions like me. Millions like her? No thanks. Ignoring her.
Senator, I see that you don't want to respond to me.
Look at her nails. Long nails.
Thanks for your time.
Like a black woman's nails.
Are you done yelling? I was trying to ask you a question. Oh, okay. Did you need a question? Yeah.
I was just asking a question.
No, I was asking a question. Did somebody help you? Yeah. Okay.
Evil woman. Evil psycho woman. She can't even pronounce reconciliation. Reconciliation. No offense to the Mexicans who can't pronounce it, but this woman is evil. Go back to your country. Call ICE. She said, I don't know if you remember me. I wonder if she's the same woman who's all, my grandfather died last year and I didn't get to go back because there's no pathway to citizenship. Meaning if she went back to Mexico, she could have gone back. She would have to stay there, though. My parents were deported under SB 1070 in 2010 or something like that. Senator Kyrsten Sinema, Kyrsten, something like that. Sinema, Sinema. And I used to think, that sounds like Christian movies? Christian cinema? like Cinema, but no. Yeah, those weird long acrylic nails don't even fit on her. Oh yeah, that was Blanca. My name is Blanca. Yeah, you're right. My name is Blanca. It's not right. So I think it was a different, maybe this illegal was there too though. I'm being vulnerable to you right now. What the heck? Kyrsten, Kyrsten, I think. What a mess. And you guys heard that George Soros funds them, and so does Facebook CEO's Mark Zuckerberg's Forward.us, FWD.us. They funded that group. And so did the Ford Foundation. Is that any relation to Henry Ford? I hope not. Henry Ford, I think, was he a great man? Throw her off the plane. She wakes up vulnerable. Evil. My dad passed away this year. That's your fault. That's your people's fault. It's your parents' fault for bringing you here illegally, if your parents brought you illegally. Oh, the Ford Foundation was hijacked? Is that what you're saying? Yeah. What a mess. What book did they write? All right. Nice. Blanca versus Saget, says the cellar door. Yeah, remember that? Evil. Evil people. Send them back. And they don't realize that they are turning people off. Hopefully people wake up and snap out of it and get tough and get wise. Oh, okay. What a bunch of evil people. And they tweeted this out. Look at these tweets. Well, I don't know if you can, you might be able to see them. ADAC. Karina. Oh yeah, it was Karina. Look at those long nails. I just found some screenshots that I put in the folder. Message from Karina. The ADAC tweeted this out. Shamelessly. Yesterday afternoon. Message from Karina. I am a DACA recipient from Arizona who volunteered to help elect Senator Sinema. I asked her to follow through on her promises to immigrants in Arizona. She's not an immigrant. She's an illegal alien, invader. Millions of people like her, no thanks, send them all back. In support of citizenship. Support citizenship through reconciliation, if she can even pronounce it. ADAC says, my son voted for President Biden and his Build Back Better agenda. Maybe this is Karina talking. He voted for bold action from Democrats to protect immigrants. That's from ADAC, Karina. Can you see the screenshots? Just show a couple of the pictures. There's one where she has like her hand out, and you see these long acrylic nails. And apparently her son is an anchor baby who voted for sleazy Joe Biden. No thanks. This is part of the problem. Let's say the father is like a hard worker. He keeps his head down, and he can't control his wife, who's like out there harassing Kyrsten Sinema with her long acrylic nails. Karina's long acrylic nails. Karina. Little Oaxacan. No offense to the Oaxacans. I like Oaxacans. In Oaxaca. I like them here too, but they vote for Obama. Sick people. And Biden. And this destruction of America. Oaxacan cheese? Let them in. Yes. The tacos. Don't you guys like tacos? Don't be so xenophobic, as Sleazy Joe pronounces xenophobia. We are here to stay, says the ADAC. Dream of an education, the strength to fight it. If you're tired of Kyrsten Sinema dismissing and disrespecting her constituents and blocking the entire Democratic Party's agenda, make a pledge. Either Sinema votes to end the filibuster or we fund a primary challenge to replace her. Evil people. enemies of America inside of America. Anyway, I guess that's enough of that. Hang tough, Kyrsten Sinema. Send her some nice stuff. Send her some nice tweets saying, hang tough, you bisexual degenerate, LGBT degenerate, Democrat. Repent and become a Republican. And but in the meantime, don't pass the Build Back Better bill, because it's evil. And don't do reconciliation either. We cannot be reconciled with evil. Stop being on the side of evil. Big Bum says, in my household, those are known as boo-boo nails. Go figure, he says. Reminds me of Joel Friday. Joel Friday on the Hake Report said that he used to be my co-host on the Hake Report. And he said, I do not like those long acrylic nails. That's Joel Friday. You know, the black guy? He's black. He was replaced by Kickflip Chris. Some sick stuff, though. Sick stuff. So, encouragement to Kyrsten Sinema. Hang tough. We're in your corner. Let me get to Jeremiah in Louisiana. How are you doing, Jeremiah?
Hey, what's up? You can hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. All right. How you doing, man?
Fine.
Man, we're back at the back of the bus.
Don't you like the back of the bus? When you go on the bus, don't you go right to the back? I do.
I don't get on the bus, man. I got my own car. I got my own transportation.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Anyway, go for it.
You do?
Sometimes.
All right. Okay. You believe in justice?
Yeah. Yes, I do.
Like true justice, not like this.
Not social justice.
Not like,
right.
Not like how it is now. Yeah.
Not civil like rights, fake justice. True
like
justice.
Righteous justice.
Yeah.
Like real righteous. Yeah. Righteous justice.
Yeah.
All right. So you don't.
How about you?
Believe that? I absolutely do.
Okay. You just don't know what it is.
Yeah. No, I do know what it is. Now, the court of law that we have right now, would you say that it's based on written law, like, you know, the Constitution, the written law, or spiritual or the living law?
Back in the olden days, it definitely was about what was right. But nowadays, it is all about the loopholes. You're right. It's man's law.
Like loophole down, ain't it? Like bribery is legal and all types of stuff, right?
All kinds of shenanigans.
All types of shenanigans.
Right is wrong and wrong is right.
That is crazy.
Yeah. Have you noticed that?
That is absolutely madness. Yeah, I do. Absolutely.
Have you noticed that the January 6th mostly peaceful protesters, are smeared while the Black Lives Matter scumbags are vaulted as heroes?
I see a lot of, the Black Lives Matter, right?
I know that you're not for Black Lives Matter, right?
No, I'm not.
So I'm not playing a gotcha. Do you see that?
It's because it's been infiltrated, though. It's not the message. I believe in the message, but it's like watered down. It's like y'all say. It's black lesbian females, right?
Yeah. So it wasn't infiltrated. They're the ones who founded it. They're the ones who started the hashtag Black Lives Matter mess.
And if they knew that was an abomination, if they knew that was against the law, then, that's just madness. You know what I'm saying? But it's been infiltrated by a lot of Edomites. A lot of Edomites are in that. You know what I'm saying? The Antifa crap.
You mean Jewish
people? What I'm saying? The Jewish people, all that. Like, it's been infiltrated. You know what I mean? So it's like, to me...
Well, it didn't have to be. There's evil people on the side of evil.
Right.
You think the black lesbians were you think the black lesbians, black radical lesbians were on the side of good before? It was infiltrated?
What they practiced with the whole lesbianism thing, I can't agree with it. And it's like how they allow these Edomites into their movement, it's like it's pure madness. You got Edomites like you, Hank, right?
I don't support it.
That's proud of being a snake, right? Then you got Edomites like Biden that's a snake and hides and hides. Right. I respect you a little bit more because you don't fake the funk.
Yeah, I don't pretend to be for black people when I'm not. I'm for what's right.
You don't cover your phone.
I'm for black people
Biden,
being decent.
Biden covers his phone.
Yeah.
And then you got some Edomites that are genuinely sorry and disgusted at what you two do, right? They may get a little mercy. You got other nations, but we're not talking about the other nations. We're not talking about Africans. We're not talking about it's Muslims. None of that. We're talking about Edomites.
Anyway,
right,
what's your point about justice?
We ain't gonna point the finger at no other nation. We're gonna look at y'all right now because I'm on the phone with you. If I was on the phone with an African, I'd be talking to it.
I get you. What's your point about justice?
You know what I'm saying? So justice, right? And that day when true justice will be rendered, there will be no way around it. There ain't no squeaming, ain't no squirming, can't point no finger, can't deflect. Everybody gets judged, including me, right? I'm no different from any man. You know what I'm saying?
You're no different from me?
All I can hope is that I'm in that number. I will never put myself in that number, right?
You're no different from me?
I'm no different than the next Israelite. I'm way different than you.
You said you're no different from any man.
You're not a man.
Oh.
Did you
and
not,
you think
did,
you're a man?
Did you hear what I said?
You think you're a man?
Did you not hear what I said?
You think you're a man?
But like I said.
You think you're a man?
Yes. Like I was saying.
Oh, first mistake, buddy.
Like I was saying.
All right.
I'm no different than any of my brothers, right? But just true justice will be rendered to everyone. You know what I'm saying? And in that day, there will be no, like slipping and squeaming like a little fish like y'all do. You can't run away. There's no bribing.
You're the one who slithers like a snake. You can't even answer a direct yes or no whether you sin or not.
There's no deflecting. There's no interrupting.
Yes, there is interrupting because you're babbling.
It's a written law. Right?
All right. Very cute, man. I appreciate it, man. I got to run. Take care, man. Take care, Jeremiah.
Hey, man, you put me on the back of the bus, and that's all you give me, huh? Okay.
All right.
You too.
All right, we'll talk. Adios. Got some super chats, guys. We got a minute to go. It's kind of useless talking to that guy. It's like talking to a broken record. Talking to a broken record. It just keeps on repeating. One day, you will be judged. You Know Me gave a super chat on streamlabs.com/The Hake Report. Thank you very much, You Know Me. Very generous. I'd like to request furthermore again, possibly next week. If not the entire week, maybe a couple of days would suffice. Wow, I appreciate the request. And I remember you have been requesting furthermore. I'm in line behind a Barbizine. Whatever he said. And she really looks like one. The white boy rapper with the Asian sidekick for a second. And another person. That's cool. I appreciate that. Asmodor with the super chat on Odysee asks, where are all the Israelites today? That is a good question. Thanks for the show, Hake, says Uncle Ted88. Hake, you shouldn't criticize the illegals' nails, says Brandon M. With your third world nails. What are you talking about? Thank you, man. Let's see. Ledge Cleaner says, don't complain when I immigrate through your front window and receive benefits from your drawers and cupboard. Ban Chuck, he's dumb and boring, says Asmodor. Hola, says Asmodor. I'm the illegal alien who filmed you in the bathroom. I don't know if you remember me. One of them, right? Who knows? Anyway, guys, thank you very much. TheHakeReport.com, JesseLeePeterson.com, RebuildingTheMan.com/church. I'll see you tomorrow, hopefully. Take care.